John, so how's it going? How's everything with the family?
Yeah, it's all good. Just the last few days or weeks has been like wild. So we've been with all the what to say, like the movie release and all those kind of things. It's very first time we are also experiencing it. Like the Swariagra release and whatnot. The whole process was overwhelming, but it was interesting. Very different. It's the last thing we ever thought. Like we'll be do being movie we will be a movie producer or a financier or whatever, so it's been a nice journey for sure. And yeah, just blessed to be in a space where we are able to try different things, open a lot of different opportunities, and also at the same time like doing together, winning together. That's always what we wanted to do. It's not always worked for us, trying to win together, trying to how do I say, we do a lot of things with good intention, but good intention also doesn't mean that it's the best, right? A lot of things that failed, with the PG Capital and this and that and everything, right? Like we all know the story. So finding that something where we can all win together, I think on it, it's pretty was pretty hard. And I think right now we had our first win as a community, as a team, as a community, and something that's not going to stop here for sure. So have a big pipeline, and we didn't want to rush. This is the main thing, right? We didn't want to rush. We did everything with the process. It might have been slow or annoying for a lot of people, or it might have been so slow, but doing it with the process was something that we believed. I think that's what we were missing in the past. It always used to rush. I think of an idea, the team thinks of an idea. If there's something, we just jump in. We don't do things. We never used to do things properly. We're doing things the Web3 way before, right? Like we just used to be like, oh shit, okay, we're getting money, we're getting some deals, whether there's contract or not, let's jump in. Oh, this looks very nice, let's do it. Instead of following the process. Why? Because there was a lot of anxiety and stress to deliver. You know what I mean, right? Like stress to deliver
For sure.
was there. So for which we have succumbed to that and shipped a lot of things that wasn't ready to ship, or deals that probably looking at the hindsight it probably doesn't make sense and things like that. So
Yeah, I think it makes sense to, for people in Web3 to think about using Web3 to build in Web3, but when you use a Web3 platform and try to deliver an IP financing service like this that's more not Web3, it seems like a good fit, right? But I think a lot of our first thought is use Web3 to build Web3, but now we're using Web3 to fund things outside of Web3, which does seem like a good fit, and I know we'll talk a little bit more about that later. All right,
no,
so
100%.
is I think we're already recording. I think Solji in the chat said they were going to be recording, so thank you for that. And let's dive in. We've got a number of things to cover. Like you said, a lot's been happening in the last couple of weeks. We haven't chatted in a few weeks, mostly due to my fault. So thank you for your patience with that. And I know we're going to touch on the events from this morning or this afternoon, I guess, depending on where you are. But Shan, do you want to give some insights as to why we're using Discord this time instead of doing like a YouTube stream?
I don't know if you guys I mean, I should have probably introduced you guys in case I should have been the one that have done it. But anyways, I think thanks a lot for Kevin and I mean, I'm like oh shit, man. I remember your so bad. I remember your username more than your
Yeah, because
shit.
I never use my real name, but Miguel.
Okay, anyways, so we don't want to dox you. So it's first night.
All right.
All right. So yeah, I mean, these guys have been fantastic, part of the Rebel Ants group, and there's been a lot of questions as to why we're doing streams with the Rebel Ant and why not in the Discord and whatnot. And these guys have been like supporting from all aspects. Supporting from buying tokens aspects, participating, brainstorming, and just yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of good people who want to do it for the sake of building something and not not with the mindset to just like extract and stuff. So very well aligned with what we have wanted to do. And second thing is when we do it on X or YouTube, we see a lot more new users pop in. I do not know if they convert or not. It's not that kind of a market now. There were days where when I used to go on Spaces, there used to be live buys happening, live flow pumps. Gone are those days, right? But at least exposure, like maybe even one out of the 100, I don't know, 200, 300 people or even more that are watching. I think if even if they convert or they join the community, we see it as a win. So that's why we were doing it there. So why we moved back to Discord was because I think just wanted to first, we realized we never gave a formal introduction to who Rebellands were and like why we were doing it there. And then a little more personal when you do it in Discord, a little more like insights or info that I don't want someone to front run or things like that. And let it stay within, our Discord or our people, right? Like whatever we're gonna talk. So that's why. Yes, for this time we wanted to come back to Discord.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to be a little more intimate this time. And like you said, we've not been so intimately connected or woven into the Jirasan community, but we've been longtime supporters and holders. And people have asked on prior streams, do we get paid or sponsorship money for doing these streams and promoting, our deck or Jirasan on the Rebel Land streams? And the answer is no. We're here because we believe in your vision and your journey, and we believe in this community, and we want to go along for the ride. And part of Rebel Lance has always been, storytelling and supporting the little guys, even though I don't think Jirasan or PG is really the little guys anymore. But certainly this journey you guys have been on to find that right product and really propel the community is so fascinating, and to see it, really getting some momentum these last few months is amazing. And I think if we go back in time to think, how did we even get connected? How did we find each other? I think it goes back to first night shit talking on the the Saints of LA NFT when he was making fun of the art before he realized really the true beauty of it. But that's what got us connected to Casey, who
Yeah,
then
my
has
my
the
bald-headed
Chunks
friend.
community.
Surprised
Yes,
he's
your
not here.
bald-headed friend. And through Casey, we got connected with you, Shan, and the rest of the PG guys, and became immersed into the Jira community. So it's been a relationship going back a couple of years now, which is great to see. Anyone who can withhold the market turbulence for this many years, definitely says something about each other and the relationship. And so we're happy to be here and continue to support and be a part of this community, even in this capacity as a mouthpiece for your visions, and giving people an opportunity to connect here, in addition to all the great things that the Jira community does with their the AMAs and the build sessions. So this is us doing our part here. Miguel, you want to talk about your history getting involved with Sean and how you guys linked up?
Yeah, man. Actually, I was talking to Casey. I'm sure it's no mystery that I hold Bitcoin, and I was talking to Casey about offloading some Bitcoins, and I just didn't know how to go about it. And he was like, "Oh, I know this guy that has some experience in this stuff. Maybe you should talk to him." And I said, "Yeah, but I don't know him."
Oh, sorry, you're
Yeah.
saying, can you
So
hear?
where were we at? So yeah. Can you guys hear me better now? All
Yeah,
good.
we were just talking about how Miguel was trying to embezzle some Bitcoin. He was trying to maybe launder Bitcoin. I don't know. He's trying to do something fishy with it.
No, man. Listen,
Yeah.
let me be honest. What happened was that listen, I'm old, and in all my years, I've been in Web3 since 2009, 2010. Like, I've never met people that are graciously willing to just help you for no reason, right? With nothing in return. And I feel like when I asked Sean for help, when Casey connected us, he just kind of offered his help without asking for anything in return. And he gave me like some great advice. We spoke for about like an hour. We spoke for a very long time, and I remember. And that kind of just stayed with me ever since. Like, I was like, this guy just he doesn't know me, and all of a sudden he's just giving me all this advice, free of just giving it to me willingly, right? And I feel like that's something that creates a character on someone, right? And it makes you feel a certain way about certain people, that you can trust them. And ever since that, it's just I've been here. I haven't left.
Yeah, man. I think thanks for
Uh oh. Can't hear you, Sean.
Oh boy. Sean, you still with us?
Sean?
Well,
Yeah,
while he gets,
can you guys hear us? Hear me?
yeah,
No?
Yeah, now I can.
Better? Okay, cool. So yeah, anyways, let's jump in because I think we already put a lot of time
yeah,
and I don't want to waste people's time. So yeah, let's jumping into this thing as I mentioned. So the process was very important, and that's what we saw today. I think it was very. I wouldn't say today I was surprised, right? I wouldn't say today I was surprised that this minted out because it's the third offering, right? So then still a lot of people missed. It was a lot of things that's left to be perfected, of course, right? Like how do we try to make sure it's guaranteed for people and it's not like a first come first serve, because we wanted to first test demand, right? It's not to create like FOMO or anything. That's those days of those cheap tactics are over. It's more so we wanted to first see demand, and we wanted to see like whether there's genuine interest, whether we were able to get the pipeline ourselves, right? That's also very important, right? Like if we don't, if we do not have enough pipeline, this is again a failed product, right? If I do not have enough pipeline to provide to people, it's again another failed venture, right? So those are the things we were testing. Great job by everybody who was involved. Like Amrish is not a dev, but him leading or taking charge, right? Like on leading the tech side of the product along with the dev, with 2 3 devs, limited dev capacity, right? We just wanted to go lean. So to establish something where it's okay, last 2 times we had different problems, different errors. This time the claim was smooth. Of course, there are things to improvise, right? Like multi-claim, claim for all NFTs at once and things like that we have noted down. But apart from that, everything was smooth and there was no issues with mint today. Like people are able to come in 15 minutes it took to mint out, so there was no gas wars or anything like that. So those who really wanted to mint, they could have, and also at the same time it worked, right? Like it all worked without any delays than last time. So it was a process that it was very hard to stick to it, because right now, me being me, I can just come and offer like, I don't know, 5 6 different offerings, raise 500,000 1 million kind of a thing, all guns blazing, and it may work, it may not work, but that's not the right process, right? Like because you're using people's funds, and and you're as much as you're trying your best to secure all these kind of fixed deals and everything, uh till people pay out, till your operators pay out, till you know that the payments are coming, right? Like you can have a crazy deal even with Netflix, and Netflix might be like, fuck you, I'm not going to give you money, right? And does it mean we have to go and battle them on the court and stuff like that? It's not practical, right? So we wanted to see what are the risks that we didn't foresee. Okay, and that's why we are going a bit slow, and the way we did things the way we did.
yeah. I was very appreciative that the payout from the Mach comic book was the day before this mint, because I just used those funds again. I wasn't in a position to, lay out more money while the others were still locked up. So I appreciate the timing and consideration on that.
Yeah, so our aim is not to try and like suck out every single liquidity. Superhero, to be very honest, let me tell you something, right? Superhero pre-production. This one is supposed to be the production phase one. The superhero production phase one started 3 weeks back. So 2 weeks back. So we should have done this 3 weeks back. But we were like, okay, let's wait, let's take one at a time. Let's first pay out people. It's okay if we don't rush and offer something. And pre-production, I mean production phase one is getting over by March 16th. So instead of paying out on March 16, what we are doing is, since we started late, we're giving yield up to March 26. So we're doing certain adjustments to try and see or ensure that like the aim is not to suck liquidity, to allow the liquidity to be present, at the same time observe, see what's working, what's not working, and also for us to see how sustainable are these yields when we scale up, right? This kind of an yield what we are making is great for $1 million film, right? But if you're what if we are doing a, what if tomorrow we have to go grow to $100 million TVL? Will we be able to do a 20% 30% consistently? Because at that size, if you can offer like 15 20, let alone let alone big numbers. Even if you offer 12% for $100 million in a fail-proof, safe method that is not subject to protocol hacks and risks, I think that is a huge win, because right now, what is Aave offering? 2.5%. What is Morpho offering? 5.5%. So, and we have seen this time and again, like how many times have we got our protocols hacked trying to make 6%? You go and lock your
Yep.
stables for 6%, and one hack wipes out 5 years of your yield. That's how bad, like EEL-5. I lost some in EEL-5 myself. Luckily, with A Finance, I escaped. They paid the money back. Then I lost some in, not lost. Luckily, I pulled out of Makina Finance as well. Makina was shilled by this guy. What is his name? CBB. So I was like, oh, this guy's a whale. 100% he'll know. He'll make sure when he's putting money, he'll check all these things. But it's beyond all that thing. It's beyond even the biggest whale with $1 billion in hand. Even if they they be like, oh, USD AI is fail proof, or Makina Finance is the best. It does end up collapsing, right? Like some way or the other. So Makina, people lost, I think, 8 or 12%. I can't remember. Then we saw StreamX or XUSD, right? Lost millions, like 50 million or 60 million total loss. So having seen all that, so that's why we are like, okay, fine, man. Like, how do we scale this up? Even if the yield has to come down as we scale up, but people can participate with size, along with the gamification, right? Along with the sustainable gamification, where maybe people might earn 15% on $100,000, which is like consistently, but maybe 10% or 20% of them can earn 25% or 50% or some kind of a gamification there, right? That's kind of where our mind's at, if we have to scale up. And we'll also have smaller pools, right? Like the movie pools and all those things with a higher APY for holders of higher amount of tokens and all those kind of things. So we can do all those sort of gamification with tokens. So tomorrow, if you're doing a $20 million film, and we are offering, say, 15% to satisfy the whales and VCs and institutions, we will still have $1 million or a $2 million pool for smaller films at like 30%, 25%, like what we're doing now. So that's kind of sustainable, and we can grow. Like the growth can be consistent in that sense. So yeah.
With
Do you feel
these
like
sorry,
do you feel like the APRs will look like this forever though?
No, that's where. So any movie under $1 million budget, offering what we are offering now, 25, 30%, like where we offered for Swaryagra, what we offered for Superhero. Yes.
Mhm.
But when we're going to scale up to a $20, $30 million TVL, our goal is to be above 15%. Anything below 15, we're not going to touch it, right? 15 for us, very honestly, guys. If you want an honest answer, and if you want to know that we're not building a Ponzi, right, where we just pay out some shit to just keep trapping people, the real possibilities to make this much of APY is there on smaller budgets, right? Like maybe up to $2 million movie budgets from our research and our experiences, what we have seen, etc. Once you go beyond that number, the market is paying the same amount of ticket price. Let's not forget that. You're paying, like if you're paying $10 for a ticket, you're still going to pay $10 for a ticket, right? Whether the movie is a $100 million budget or a $1 million budget, you're going to pay the same amount of ticket. So each market has a total addressable market. Maybe there's some Americans, British people, Indians or whatever. There's addressable markets, China, Singapore, whatever. So when the ticket prices are consistent, addressable markets may be expanded if with a bigger budget, but the risk goes significantly higher. When your budget is high, Netflix is not going to come and be like, I'll take up 100% of your budget, right? Or Amazon Prime is not going to be like, I'll take 80% of your budget. No, they are going to still stick to their business model, maybe offer 30%, 20%, 40%. But for smaller budget films, they are in need of a lot of these smaller budget films. So there is a very high chance that they're taking 80, 90, or even 100% of the film budget with zero risk and only upside. So that is why it is very important to understand that it's going to be a while. It's not going to happen tomorrow. People can enjoy these yields for maybe next 6 months, 9 months. But when we are going to scale up to a 10, 20, or 50 million TVL, or hopefully everything goes well and we hit those numbers, then our target is 15% for a consistent minimum 15%, and for let's say like a thick like a bigger fund, and for regular participants or people holding a lot of RDAC or Tencent after the merger, you will be getting priority for the smaller pools with a higher APY. So this satisfies the whales and also the small fishes, right? Where you're only contributing $100, $1,000, $2,000, maybe even up to $5,000, you can get a higher APY. But if you're going beyond $5,000, your APY will be restricted to 15% or so. Why? Because institutions or VCs or high net worth individuals, they want consistent 12 or 10%, they're happy, right? Like we want to beat the S&P through means that is very different and unique, and at the same time safer than protocols or other things. So yeah, that's kind of the thought process behind it.
Let me ask you, now that you mentioned Tencent, what has Tencent brought to Redacted that didn't exist before?
The amount of funds or the mints, like this, like truth be,
We lose him?
He's gone forever. That was it.
Uh-oh.
Might be the last time we
So-
hear from him.
yeah.
Oh no, he's
Tell me?
back. Yeah.
Now we can, yeah. Are you there?
Yeah. So this is the data we have, and we saw 60% being bought by Tencent holders in today's mint. So what's
Wow.
Tencent bring? Yeah, even last time also we had like about 40 or 45% participation from there. And we didn't open up to other communities for this round, right? This was phase one is purely for RDAC and certain Tencent holders above, this thing. So what Tencent is bringing us is liquidity that is strong there, right? As you guys would have seen when we did the ADIX pre-sale or Play AI, whatever that thing was, they $1.3 million was raised from the Tencent community. So I think there is a lot of liquidity sitting there, and that's what Tencent brought us up. And there's a lot of on-chain liquidity also still there. So when people are asking why is Tencent going down and RDAC stable, because Tencent is tied to BNB token. I don't know how many of you guys have seen that. So
Yep.
it's an indirect bet on BNB in that sense, where if BNB goes to $1,200 tomorrow, Tencent is going to double. So your LP there for $500,000 or whatever or more is set against by BNB. So that's why Tencent's moving up and down based on the BNB price action. Okay, so it can go to a 20 million market cap if BNB goes to a crazy new all-time high, right? So similar to tying a token with ETH or something like that, right? So that's kind of why Tencent's moving that way. So they still have a lot more liquidity than us, like 6, 10, whatever X liquidity, both on chain and also user wise. And we're using the tech, right? Like the tech's been solid so far. 4 years, touchwood, no hacks on Tencent build, right? Like the core build of Tencent's not been hacked for 4+ years of operations, plus there's legacy to it. Whatever said and done, there's existence. They've been existing for a while. There are a lot of, like any community is forged, when they stay through 1 or 2 cycles, and Tencent's gone through that couple of cycles. So yeah, there are few reasons, and we I mean overall, and we also are getting the expertise of Current's been, he joined Redacted core team, so he's been excellent, very very smart guy, and he's been helping us quite a bit on a lot of business deals and things like that. He's taking care of a lot of on the film section as well and whatnot. So we do not know, but a lot of IDO platforms are dying, like Paid Network shut down yesterday. I don't know, CD5. I don't know when was the last IDO they brought up and all. So for Tencent holders, bringing this RWA opportunity, it's like a breath of fresh air. What the concept right now in everyone's mind is that, what if I keep my token staked and I get opportunity to earn USD for films and whatnot? Plus, I also get opportunity to participate in IDOs whenever or if at all that comes back. Like it's a cycle, right? It is going to come back someday. 2024 there was ICO cycle. 2021 there was ICO cycle. 23 was dead. 25 was average. 26 is who knows what's going to happen. So it's a cyclic environment we are in. So for Tencent people, it's like, oh shit, I can stake my tokens, I can participate. I can also put my USD and get like fixed yields.
Okay, more, yeah.
Plus, I get
That makes
free
sense.
USD for having my token stake. While in the event IDOs, tomorrow if there's a IDO that's good or solid, people will get an opportunity to participate for refundable rounds. All 10 set IDOs are refundable, right? So zero risk, but potential for a this thing. So that's why those are the benefits with 10 set as such.
And
Yeah, I
do you want
mean,
to talk about the merger?
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so we are, as you guys know, we are merging. So we are merging into one token. So we are merging into Tencent. So we are killing RDAC. All right. So that's something I wanted to announce. So we're killing RDAC. We're merging into Tencent. All right. So the reason, as I said, like there's multiple reasons. There's a little bit of bad blood with Redacted name also now in the market. So we want to just hope to have a fresh start with audience in Tencent and Redacted. So from a conversion point of view and everything, we'll make sure we'll do people right. All I can say is that it's not a it's not financial advice or anything, but if you really believe and you want to stick around, stake your tokens when it opens up, because uh, very honestly, I've probably told that in the chat already, nothing much to hide here, but um, for stakers, the benefits are insane, right? Compared to just holding RDAC on its own for a conversion. So we are not going to cut anybody off. So anybody who's holding RDAC, you'll get whatever you hold. That's not going to be a problem. But those who stake, they're going to get quite a lot more. I don't want to publicly tweet about this, but we're gonna convert it at, like, at very favorable rates, right? So the reason is those who staked, especially the first one, Swariagra stakers, and second one, so first the Swariagra is going to get like a bigger bonus than what's going to come for this one. But nevertheless, I think those who stake and who believe in stake, or who are even listening and they stake, I think they whole conversion and everything, right? So as you guys know, staking yield is calculated at $0.003. So even if you stake $10 worth of RDAC at today's prices, you will get your yield for $15, because we fixing a price that we think is okay, reasonable to. I mean, it's not reasonable. It's at least what we committed. So those who bought trusting our word a month back or 2 months back, we don't want to screw them. So especially, I mean, I'm just talking. A lot. Everybody's underwater, but I'm just saying those who bought 2 months back because of the staking thing. So it's locked at 0.003, so which is on its own, where you're getting your staking rewards calculated at 0.003, although the dollar value is lower. So the APY is a lot higher. The actual APY is a lot higher than 50%. So yeah, just wanted to mention that.
And what can the holders anticipate with that process of merging the RDEC into Tencent? Are there some action steps for them to be mindful of, or where should they be looking out for those instructions?
Correct. So the instructions will be coming out very soon. Very soon. Like, I know soon's always been soon, but very soon is like under a week. Okay, let's put it
Soon.
that way. So in under a week, so in under a week, you'll be getting the instructions on those details and everything, right? In under a week. And yeah, the process will be pretty straightforward. So I don't know if you guys know, but we paused all investor unlock, so no more RDA gets unlocked for now, or maybe even indefinitely at this stage, because we don't want to keep giving peanuts and there's no point. So we spoke to our major investors. uh, Most of them are like, whatever, man, like, it's kind of like down 90%, 95%, whatever. So so we paused all the investor unlocks. So there's no more RDAC coming into the market at this stage. um, if it's either we die or we live and try to make it right for all, right? It's come down to that point. So for us, it's like, okay, what is the best shot we have? We have a product that's got a product market fit. Like, I mean, if there was a poly market bet 2 months back that Redacted, after being fucked on the token price and everything, that they're going to launch a product and the product is going to consistently raise 100 200K each time, still people trusting us and putting in, what do you think the odds would have been?
Pretty low.
Right? Like, I would have put it pretty low. Like, I would have put it at 5%. Honestly, like, I'm just being very practical here, right? So the reason why I'm telling that is that right now we're not like anywhere like a dead project, right? Like a lot of them died, yes, I know, and a lot of them have given up and everything. We have found something that makes sense. We have found something that we're trying to do our best to make it right in a sense where it is actually there. This opportunity is very unique and it's present in the world. It's not being tapped or touched by many people. It's very unique. As you mentioned, trying to do Web3 things with Web3 money has failed many times because tech products may or may not work. But doing Web2 things that many are not aware of, even I didn't know about this for the longest of time, with Web3 money where there's a lot of liquidity and the bar is so low, right? No offense, man, but like now is a time where people are excited for a Pudgy Penguin X cast card announcement. That's how low the bar is right now.
I kept looking
No,
for
I'm
what is
not
the
putting
benefit of having
anybody
that
down.
card. Yeah, I couldn't
Like
find a benefit
the
for the
the
card.
reason is, yeah, it's nothing, right? So for me, it's like, okay, this is how the market is. Pudgies have done a fantastic job, and in the whole community building side and whatnot. That when people are excited for a card partnership, there will be a time where people are going to be excited for what we are doing. Like honestly, today was exciting for me to see, let alone as a founder, as a holder, to see
Right.
the mint
Right.
progress. It reminded me of the 2020. Imagine if Pudgy did the same thing what we did. It's the
Yeah.
same product, same offering. Anywhere else in the world, people will be judging people based on the opportunity and the action, not just their whatever token price or whatnot.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
in this market, right? Like in this market, we are of course being judged by a token price, and rightly so. I'm not blaming you. Live and die by the sword. That's how the Web3 market is. But this is the market that gets people get excited for card announcements. Cast is not even able to fucking handle like two customers. Like I've been begging, like I've been chasing them for 7 days to get my fund fucking released for one payment, which their useless service team are not able to even like answer one question properly, and these guys are trying to onboard more people. So what I'm trying to say is, for us it's like, okay, we have a product that I strongly believe is unique, and something that I do believe strongly that people will see eventually. How many people, how many new wallets participated this time? 28. 28 new wallets
Wow.
participated this time that didn't participate
Wow. Yeah.
in the last two times. I know 28 is not like thousands, like whatever, but for a race of 100,000, when we are having 100, 150, 200 wallets, 28 new wallets that came in today to mint is a win for us, because that just shows that people who were on the fence last two times, maybe they jumped in this time.
Yeah.
So,
And do you
which is
think? Yeah.
right. Mm,
Do you think
yeah,
this
yeah.
strategy is helping to attract those larger players as, word gets out and people can see that there's a real return on the investment? Is
The
that sort of the goal is
the
to
word
attract
is not.
larger and larger players?
Yeah, we lost that marketing side of things very honestly, right?
Right.
Like my Twitter account has lost its power, nor our marketing strength in terms of Jira-san holders going and chirping about it. There are very few of them. I really appreciate you guys. I don't know if I will be cheering for Jira-san or Redacted the way you guys are doing if I was a holder. I mean, again, it's nothing to there's nothing to be like I'm not putting anything down. Like I'm just talking facts here. So I hope people don't think that I'm talking shit about my own project. I'm just saying this is the truth, right? The situation is that
Yeah.
the excitement in the whole market is down, and even more for Redacted with a shitty market cap. So what's happening is that there's nobody is going to hear the noise. Nobody's going to be like, wow, guys, this is awesome, and they're going to come in. We have to go and talk to the right people, which is what we are doing. And we do have some commitments from some family offices and some bigger names and whatnot, but we do not want to take the funds now. We wanted to prove first, right? That see, if you want to do it like a
It
VC for
works.
film, I don't need redacted. I can do it in the back end. I can sit and do it myself as a VC, raising money for movies and stuff. And like we are trying to build a Cinefy or a DeFi or InfoFi or whatever you want to call that. We are trying to build a platform, not trying to just take money from people to make more money and take a commission out of it, and then we are all happy and done, right? So we are trying to build a platform, to build a brand. For that, we are not going and hoping that word is going to spread on its own. But what's happening is people are observing. There are some really smart VCs or offices, family offices, observing what's happening. We are giving updates regularly. We are submitting audit reports, etc. where the funds coming from, where the funds going, how much of profit was made, why did this movie make so much money, how, to prove that it's all legit and it's coming from legit source. And once we are comfortable taking more money is when it'll make a lot more sense for us to like be like, okay guys, we're opening the pool. So I don't know if you guys know, but any DeFi protocol, it's not magic that suddenly they open up and it hits 100 million TVL, right? They talk to market makers, they talk to family officers, they get people to come and deposit uh, in return for extra benefits, perks, and whatnot. That's why the TVL always bloats up and very less real users. So for us, yeah, we are testing the whole process, and now we are relatively comfortable with how the things are progressing. For example, Superhero, the movie is already sold to an OTT platform. I'm not going to name it now, but it's sold already to OTT platform. So we are coming and offering this after we sold it. Swariagra, you're going to see it on Amazon Prime soon, right? Then you're going to see it on Z Marathi and few other whatever channels or OTT platforms. So all these opportunities, what you're bringing, it's already like I sold a real estate apartment or a real estate, and then I have a bridging loan in between, and I'm offering the bridging loan. That's pretty much it, right? So that's kind of what we are trying to do now. So yeah, we are not waiting for the word to spread. We are updating people, and we are working on to see how we can scale this up, because scaling up is the hardest and the most challenging one, right? Like you can do this forever. I can do what I'm offering now forever, one a month, $1 million or $500,000 raise, and we can continue as it is, or we try and give it a shot to be our way of RWA, like RWA financing, right? It's in or cine financing. So yeah, so it's a choice that we have to make, whether we want to be comfortable with what you're doing, or do we have to try and give it a real shot to try and make this into a company that we dreamt of, right? So, and we are choosing the second option.
And so what's going on with the Swariagra now, right? The movie came out. And so,
Yep.
do you have any insights on the reception, and how does that even impact, future deals? Thinking about how that worked
Yes.
out or what that relationship was like.
So this is where people fail to understand, right? Like I think I saw some discussions. How do I say, like, oh, this movie's box office, this and that. The movie was like, very honestly, the movie was made with a budget of $500,000. Okay, 500,000. All right, it's a very very low budget film, right? Made for 500,000. The pre-sales of the film itself was over $700,000. The box office right now is at $200,000. So from a production side of things, the movie has already made money. So what the question somebody asked was, will if the box office wasn't great, very honestly it was not great, but we sold the movie, as in like Mugafi and us, we sold the movie, our money is secured. Who gets affected here is potentially the distributor, okay, which is Panorama Studios. They are distributing. But let's put something, right? Every production house is going to keep producing movies. Not a single production house in the world, including Disney or Universal Studios or Columbia Pictures, have 100% track record of
Right.
profitability. Their goal is to minimize losses in like films that are underperforming in the box office, maximize profits on movies that become blockbuster, that one or two films will cover even like underperformance of 10 films. That's how the industry works. So what is happening for us is completely irrelevant to the performance of the box office, whether more people will want this or not. Because see, let me put it this way, right? A production house is it's okay. The director. Well, let's take the director. The director has produced 7 hits, 7 movies that have been hits. Okay, this is eighth movie. This is average. This is not by any means by failure. 200,000 in box office for a film that already has a budget of 500K and sold for OTT and sold the theatrical rights for $100,000 or something. The distributors are still in like some amount of profit, maybe like 30%, right, or something. Right? They put like 200K, they like 260K or something max, instead of a 3x or a 4x, which could have been a possibility. So what happens here is, tomorrow we are doing another movie. We are the ones who are giving them the money. Who is to say that no, you guys can't come and give us the money? You get what I mean? We are not asking
Right.
for money.
Right.
The real problem is not for us. We are the guys who are funding, man. We are funding your film. If at all anything, I have to be mad at you as a director for giving a film that might not have clicked in the box office, not the other way around. I am the VC here. We are the VC here. Am I gonna? Should I be mad if a token is not performing, or should the token founder be mad that the token is not performing? Right? It's as simple as that. Right? So here is the situation is similar. We are giving money to people, and people like the directors or whatnot, they go and talk to the OTTs and theatricals and whatnot. They secure deals and they come and be like, hey, we have a deal in hand. Netflix has told, or Amazon Prime has told, if we release the movie within this period of time, and if we deliver the movie, we will be getting so much funds in hand. Okay. So now what we do is we assess the director's past record, we assess the production house's track record, we see if the contracts are legit. Is Netflix or Amazon paid them 10% or 20%? Is the proof there in hand, etc. So we do the DD, right? And we see who's the actor, we see what's happening, we see the story, we see the script with AI tool, etc. And then we decide whether we want to fund this film or not by taking the bridging loan contract. The bridging loan contract states something like $500,000 invested by Redacted Studios. No matter what the performance of the film, Redacted Studios is entitled to receive the principal plus $150,000 by end of 6 months, or in the event of a delay beyond the 6 months, up to a maximum of 9 months, they'll be getting an extra penalty of another 30% or something. No matter what happens to the movie, if the
Right.
production house or the director has to sell his house and pay us at least,
Yeah.
but we are not in the business of. So tomorrow if the movie does a 10x, I will not get 1 rupee extra. If the movie tanks, I will not get 1 rupee lesser. We are financing. We are not producing. Just to make it clear, we are financing. We are IP financing. So that means it's a loan. You have a house. You're
Right.
taking a loan. If the house goes 10x, you get the profit, but you pay me my loan, the interest. Similarly, here we are getting a fixed loan. What we are using as the collateral is the contracts with OTTs or theatricals or distributions, where the belief or the thought is that Netflix or Amazon is not going to go bankrupt, which is very, very, very like what are the chances of Netflix going bankrupt versus a protocol like Huawei getting hacked? I would say Huawei getting hacked is more than Netflix going bankrupt at this stage, right? So
Hmm.
that's kind of where our main this thing is. So if Netflix agreement is live and they paid the 10%, they cannot back out. That's how it works, this industry,
Yeah, they
right?
still
Because
have to pay.
Netflix needs content. I saw a post the other day where people compared YouTube with OTT platforms, and they said how YouTube's margins are so much higher than something like Netflix and whatnot, because Netflix, they need a constant source of library, guys. You will stop your subscription to Netflix if they don't release at least 2 new films a month that you like, correct? So how are they going to get 2 new films a month per language, per country, per region, per actor, whatever you want to call that, right?
Yeah.
How will
Yeah.
they get it? They need movies. They need movies. And how do they make sure they win the competition? Is by securing the deal upfront. Simple. That's it. That's the logic behind it. Nothing, it's not rocket science, pretty straightforward in that sense.
Yeah, you know what I like? That superheroes theme feels very universal. So I feel like institutional players are definitely watching 100%.
Yeah, man. So yeah, there's a suspense. It's not exactly a superhero film like you guys are thinking, but it's a very nice story. I saw the shooting. I saw some clips. It's come out very well. Like I'm excited. Like I wasn't super excited for Swaryagra because it's a historical drama, and I'm not from that state. It's a different language, so I didn't still watch the film at all. But this movie, I'm legit excited because it's from my state, my language also, and it's come out very well and commercially. We have a bigger upside for superhero than any other film so far. So for a treasury point of view, it can be huge for us if superhero does well. And I'm sure the way things are going and what pre-market deals we have sold, it's looking very solid. So yeah,
And the producer for that movie is one of us, right?
correct. So it's Redacted Studios and
Yeah.
Soldiers Factory. So this one we are. So Swariagra, although we got our logos and everything in the film and in the OTT, you'll see us. We are financiers, but for soldiers, we are the producers, as along with another team. So you will see both our logos everywhere.
That's cool to see.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you a question, and I don't mean to pry here, but when I go onto the launchpad of Mugafi, there's suddenly 2 more projects that are sort of grayed out. Is that something we can be looking forward to?
I think so, but I want to do the payouts first. As I said, I do not want to trap people with liquidity and whatnot and try to make it like just for the sake of jumping. So let's do the payout first. Let people see the returns. Let people see the, like when you see Redacted in the OTT platform and when you stream and just see our logo come in there, you know it's real, it's tangible. It's not some random thing out of thin air I've brought up and be like, hey, I'm giving you some money, right?
Yeah.
And it's in a global platform and whatnot. So I want people to see that first, experience that, right? Like it's very easy to be like, oh, I'll give you, I can do another offering tomorrow itself. And we have a lot of in the pipeline. So it's just that we want to make sure that the process is followed, people understand. There are going to be some changes also coming up, right? So for us to move forward to grow the platform, we have put 100% of the liquidity on chain, but that's not going to be sustainable. So we're moving it down to like maybe 20 to 30% moving forward, right? Because hardly 1% of people have claimed their USD, right? A lot of it 1%, I think 0.5% have claimed in the last 3 months. So everybody who got into Swariagra, everybody who got into Moksh, or who's getting into Superhero, they're knowing what they're getting into. So what we are planning to do is remove the penalty. Okay, remove the penalty of 10% and reduce the liquidity, just like what a DeFi protocol would normally have like 20 or 30% as a buffer penalty for somebody who urgently wants to exit. No penalty for that, right? You can just sell it to the pool and get out. And if it's emergency, right, so people can go. And otherwise, if people want the money out, we'll give them like Maple Finance. So we give them a time period. Say if you want to exit, if the 20% gets depleted for whatever reason, assume a worst case 20%, everyone's rushing to take their money out because of whatever reason. Very, very rare, right? Like I've never seen Aave deplete even its 10% of its reserves.
Right.
Utilization ratio for Aave is like what, 80%? So 20% is always there. So that 85% is, like the ideal spot. So 20% is more than enough for most people. If at all they need like a quick exit and then they can come back. We're planning few things. How do we give them like a month worth of mercy, right? In the sense like you want to take your money quickly against your NFT. Okay, we give you money for a month, lock the NFT up, get the money for a month, do your IRL shit, whatever you need to, pay back and get your NFT out. Like we ourselves have our own loan, we ourselves will have our own bridge, things like that, right? So those are the things that we are working on next. So this way, this allows us to grow the platform also. And now we understood the market, or people coming in, like, people didn't, not a single question was asked, oh lol, I only made $20. People understood what they're getting into, and it's a risk-free gamble in a sense where if you get your rare, you're getting a crazy APY. And if you don't win and you're getting a normal, it's still a very good APY. It's higher than anything in the market. So a crazy win-win in that sense, and it's a gamble. If you think about it, it's a
Right.
fun gamble. 20% of you are going to get 100% APY. 80% of you are going to get 25% APY. Our net payout is 35% APY, and we are making 70% plus on the film. So we are pocketing 35% profits to the treasury while we are distributing 35% to people for participating. So a real win-win in that sense. Like, I
Yeah.
can't think of anything.
I'm still waiting for my rares to mint, so we'll see how I did based on today's mint. So you said before future opportunities, we're looking at payouts and some other upcoming events, right? We've got the staking claim for RDAC from the Moksh.
Yeah. Sorry,
Comment, right?
I'll probably just answer this question. Sorry, because it's pretty important. So,
Yeah.
just for Happy Cup's question. So, Happy Cup, we are not reliant on the producers paying us. We are reliant on the OTT platforms and satellite digital, which are multi-billion-dollar companies paying us out. We are not relying on the producers. We ourselves are the main guys who are funding the money. So, if Netflix doesn't pay us, Amazon Prime doesn't pay us, or the local channels, like, which are big here, right? Like individual TV channels, like TV channel 5 or Sun TV or whatever, those people who are buying, if they don't pay us, which are multi-billion-dollar companies, then yes, it's a problem. That's where I've been like, there's nothing to hide here. It's purely transparent. But how many times has Netflix backed out of a deal where there was no error from the director's side? Zero. Right? They only backed out of deals where there was a breach of contract, clear breach of contract, like changing the actor, changing the director, changing few things without Netflix's approval, and things like that, or Amazon Prime. That's the only time they cancel. This is a contract, right? And with a billion-dollar company, they're not going to play around with canceling the contracts just like that. So our profits are reliant on Netflix and Amazon's and OTT paying us, and not on the production houses paying us, if that makes sense,
Yep.
There was
right?
another question a
So,
little earlier.
There was
Sorry, go
another
ahead.
question
Yeah,
here.
finish your thought.
and second one, let me also answer the other one. So there's a bunch of questions there. So then other one is that why do they need our money for a month?
Right.
They do not have money. We are the ones who are financing. They do not have money for a bridge loan. So they don't take it for 1 month. To be very honest, they take it for 6 months to 9 months. Okay, in tranches, not all at once. So we see the progress. 10% paid first section of the movie production is done, then we do the second tranche, second set of the movie production is done, so 20-30% is film. So it's a stage by stage payment. We are offering to people for 3 months to 4 months for Swariagra, even though we paid 8 months back. Okay, let me tell you, we paid 8 months back. We only offer it for 4 months because for people to get used to it, we do not want to get them trapped for 8 months, or for them to feel like, how degens are. Oh my god, 8 months for making my money. So we wanted to get them a feel and a share. And legally we are distributing profits. Legally we are distributing profits of our company through a staking mechanism, instead of being like, hey, just I've airdropped you US dollars. So there's a lot of factors to that. So in short, our what is it, commitment to bridge funding is anywhere from 6 months to 8 months. So it's a lot of long time for people to lock up funds. Plus, people are willing to go for a profit share with the Netflix contract than take money on their own and try to. So you're talking about a country like India where the directors, the net worth is like maybe $50,000 or $100,000, but a very good script writers and whatnot. So they cannot even take a loan from the bank, because banks do not provide loan for these kind of things, or they'll ask for collateral like house or something. They do not take Netflix contract as a collateral, because for a bank, Netflix is a company, right? They don't see it as, oh, you have a Netflix contract, let me give you money. So this is where we are stepping in as a bridge loan, uh, where banks cannot or will not touch, because of they don't see it in a way where, oh, it's Netflix and Amazon, it's been given a contract, right? They see it as the individual who's borrowing, what is his capacity. Okay, so that is the main difference here, right? So I hope I answered your question, but it's very good questions, because this is the type of questions that's needed before you jump in without knowing what it is, then you get stuck or whatever. So yeah, it's starting to sound like
Very
a
good.
good system, especially for people like us who are investing and getting returns
What are
within
the
as fast as a
upcoming?
month. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing, man. So moving forward, we'll be offering 3 months, 4 months, 6 months opportunities also for people, and it's going to be a self-sustained system where if someone's willing to come in and lock for 6 months, someone else can buy their NFT after 4 months to just take 2 months worth of yield also, right? So for some people, they like, for myself, man, I do not know where the fuck to park my money. I'm really like, I'm using Cinefy as a way to earn some yield on my holdings, because I'm scared of Pendle. I'm scared of everything. I'm putting money there, but I'm scared to just put everything in protocol. And real estate, my yield is shit. Like Australia, I'm getting like 5% in Australia, 7% in Dubai. Like, the fuck am I gonna do with that? Like, why? I'm not even fighting. Like, I can't even fight inflation with my real estate payouts. So that's why I myself, I wanted a product where I can be a customer first, right? So that's how Thinify even came into play, is where I can be a customer myself. I will use it. If none of them are filling this up or want to buy it, I was like, let me take it. Like, I'll take the whole allocation. I do have taken my allocation also personally, but I'm saying from what's offered to the public, if people don't want, I'm happy to take it. Like, instead of paying you guys the yield, I'm taking the profits back from the company to my pockets, because I don't mind locking my money, or it's not even locked. Technically, if you think about it, it's liquid. It's liquider than Aave in that sense. Even if there's a bank run tomorrow, all of you can get your money out right now, correct? So even if it's a bank run event, that's how currently it's positioned. And moving forward, we are looking at a 20 to 30% pool, so which is again more than enough. There's no way in hell like 100 people are going to come and try and collect their funds all in the same day. No protocol can handle that. So we are looking at a 20 to 30% liquidity, and ideally 3 to 6 months worth of locking period. So you can choose maybe a 3 month period or a six month period based on your interests or plan. But at the same time, you can exit anytime, so you don't have to worry about like, okay, what if I need some urgent cash for tomorrow? What do I do then and stuff like that? That's why we are planning the liquidity. So if we need 500k, we will raise 600k, and we'll leave the 100k in the on-chain wallet for to allow people to exit if needed. In the event, if that gets depleted, then we'll add another 100k from our treasury to allow another 20% of people to exit before the maturity, if at all that happens, which is a situation like COVID, something like that happens and everyone was scared and they want their all the money out into the pockets. That's the bank run moment. So yeah.
Shan, let me ask one other question that came in from Raw Jira asking about RDAC. So if we can go back a second to that topic. They said, are there finished plans with our RDAC locked within Jira-san, and conversion will happen when there are no staked RDAC tokens in movies, or will it be tracked manually for every wallet, staked and unstaked?
Yeah. So
A
so
little higher.
guys, I know this is going to be, maybe you might think I'm a fucking asshole or whatever, but like, see, we really want to give it the best shot for the tokens. Okay, I'm telling you this. I don't want to leave the tokens die and be like, I'm giving you a good utility. Let's not worry about tokens. And for that to happen, we need to do few things. We need to have some level of control in the market. So for that to happen, we are making the Jira, so we are pausing all the invested tokens. We may or may not unlock it entirely to get it out at once and be like we are done with it. So we'll give a clear heads up or a clear plan how that works, so it won't affect anybody much, or at least the staked RDAC. You guys are chill. You'll know what I mean. So for Jira Sans lockup, so we are thinking of an off-chain token for starters, where you can use it to participate in the deals, etc. But the unlocks happen gradually with the participation. So that way, we are paying people back instead of giving like 10% of supply is what we have to give now. So instead of giving that and trying to fight more and buy back and then give more 10 cent tokens out and all those kind of things, uh, other situation is looking pretty neat for us. So we are trying to be like, how can we uh, try and like do some justice to people, but at the same time give us the best shot to make our tokens successful. So for that reason, the tokens for Jira-san is going to be off chain for starters, and then you can participate to earn yield or whatever. But the unlock of this token or the conversions will happen later when we are at a position where all of you are happy and we are happy also. So we have to do this as a team. We have to do this as a group, because we have to fight from literally not just the bottom, from the underground, right? Like we are literally trying to climb up. I know a lot of them. I don't want to say this, but a lot of people would have given up by now, right? So we are not that type of people. I know even when I agent Jamie quit, and then people are like, "Oh man, this is what you Jamie also said. You are saying the same thing," but I don't know what to say. Like honestly, that's Jamie. I know he gave his best and whatnot, but for us, honestly, like we raised enough money, luckily, right? Like we knew that okay, we have, only when you have money, people respect you, and we had enough money, and more importantly, we were very frugal with what we were buying or investing in and stuff like that, or else would have burnt all the money by now, easily, like doing some shit and whatnot. We could have easily burnt money buying back and defending floor and all those kind of shit. So we didn't pay for marketing, we didn't pay KOLs, we didn't like refund anybody, we didn't like, go and buy back tokens, which is what a lot of them did. If you saw Jamie's tweet, he did the same. He paid like a lot of the raise to KOLs, thinking that the buy volume will be higher and he can make money. That's how the KOL managers promote it as well. Same promotion was sent to us, and I told fuck off, right? Like, no, I don't care if the volume is not legit, so be it. That I don't want to fake some shit, and I don't want to burn money. Like, would have burnt like millions just trying to defend. Imagine like 20% of sell pressure at 70 million FDV, and you're trying to defend $14 million with like maybe $5-6 million of liquid in hand. Like, no fucking way. That's what happened to a lot of projects, right? The release, they try to you know uh balance it, and they get fucked. So that's where I think we deferred, and we want to say that, like we are here, we are present. But I think this is one thing with the tokens of Jira-san. We don't want to release more into the market now and confuse what we have planned. So it will be an off-chain token in the dashboard, where all the Jira Sans, there'll be a snapshot date, and then we'll literally put it as an off-chain token, and then we allow you to participate. So that's kind of where our mind, like our plans at, so to kind of like solve it. And as and when we participate, a portion of the profits from our, like portion of our profits from, let's say, what do I say? From the movies and whatnot, as it grows, then we can buy back some extra 10 set from the market and distribute to convert the off-chain tokens into on-chain. So it has to be a process, right? So yeah.
All right, so let's talk about just some upcoming events as we wrap up here. We've got some staking claims coming up for the Mox and Superhero, right? So I think this has all been posted on the Redacted X account, so make sure you're giving a follow over there. That's coming up on the 13th and 14th. And as you shared earlier, Shan, you said there'll be instructions and info coming out soon about the merger, right? RDAC into Tencent.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's why we planned it in a way where, okay, you have a day for staking unlock, and then you can restake it back. We're giving like 72 hours for people to come and restake it for the next offering also. So there's enough time for people to this thing. So before the merger, this is the last opportunity to stake. So if you, as I said, if you want to be a part of us for a long time, I would highly recommend you guys to go and stake your RDAC. If for speculation you want to hold, then don't go and stake. So yeah, that's kind of what I can say.
All right. Any final questions or parting words?
Nothing from me, and I think yeah, we are exploring other opportunities also, guys. So we're not going to stop here. The day I can get like, I don't know, 10-20% of your IRL portfolio deposited into our, even if there's 100 people, okay, 100 real people in our community, and we get 20% of their IRL portfolio managed through the Redacted Studios. No, sorry, through the offering what we are coming up with. That's a huge win, and that's the path that we are hoping to go towards. So a mixed basket, right? Like of movies, real estate, this and that and whatnot, and custodians. Or how do we build the trust? Like, right now, if I ask you to give 20% of your whole or 10% of your whole liquid investment to put into us, it'd be scary, right? Like, but how do I build the trust? Why you trust your banks, or even like Aave, because of time tested and battle tested kind of a situation, or because of insurances, or because of accreditations or licensing or whatever. So that's the path. That's the path we are working towards, right? There's quite a long way to go for that. But in 3 years, if we are handling 10% of your
I think we lost him.
We lost them.
Maybe he's going through a tunnel. I don't know how tunnels work. Maybe that's the last we're going to hear from him. I see a couple of questions going on here, so we'll make sure he sees those questions, and we should try and get an answer back for you guys. The question that came from Dejani and Chin. So we'll try and get answers to that.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, maybe not.
Wait, he's coming out of the tunnel.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There you are.
No. Whenever I get a call, it's yeah. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I was just saying that that's the goal, like for us to have most of the people here deposit or have at least like 5-10% of their portfolio managed with us. So yeah, there's quite a long way to go, but let's see.
All right, I think there's a couple of questions still coming in here, but we'll take those offline and we'll find a way to get those communicated or answered back. So appreciate everyone joining us. Apologies for the technical difficulties at the start here, but I do like Discord as a different setting and a different tone than what we've done with the other unredacted shows on YouTube and X. So it is nice variety, and we'll continue to mix it up, I think.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks all. Have a great day.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
hosting also, Kevin
on-
and Gil. Yep. Thanks.
Absolutely. Give us a follow on X at Rebel Ants. Stay in touch. We go live often throughout the week.